Right, hello. I'm just going to show you quickly how to fix the rubbish plastic Mission D diff to make it so it's a little less breakable. If you're watching this video, you've probably already worked out that these are a bit rubbish, and it would be nice if this car came with a better quality part. Now, it does. You can buy this. I bought this for it was about $23 Australian. However, with the brushless motor upgrade that I've got in my Mission D, I still broke it anyway. The problem is the outside cup is actually made from plastic and not metal. They put this little aluminium ring on there to try and make it a bit stronger, which does work. We've actually got two Mission Ds, and this is the first one that broke. When it broke, it actually sheared through the whole thing, and the bearing and everything actually vanished on it, which was unfortunate. So we got an idea from this one having the little strengthening ring, because obviously it does work, it does make a difference, but this part for that much money, I wouldn't really recommend it. So what we came up with, and we have tried and tested it, and it does work, it hasn't broken yet, is we're going to wrap this part of the axle with some heat shrink. Now you've got to keep in mind that there is a bearing here, much like on this axle, so you can only wrap it up to there, but obviously if you're doing the wrapping, you already have your bearing pre-installed on the diff. Right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to chop down some heat shrink into a few pieces. 4 layers works good, because you do have the upper suspension arm mounting point that you have to clear. 3, and then I'm going to do my 4th layer in blue, because a lot of the parts on the car are blue, and it might look cool, maybe. So I'm just going to get these surgical scissors, because unfortunately my heat shrink is not the right size. And I'm just going to give it a gentle stretching all the way around like this. Don't just stretch it in one point, give it a, stretch all the way around. And we'll see if that slides on now. Perfect. Alright, next piece. And slide that one over that one. Next one. A little bit more. There we go. And then my final layer, which I'm going to do in blue, because I have blue. And there's other blue parts in the car, so, make it look like an upgrade part, I suppose. And slide that on there. Now I'm just going to give them all a bit of a tap, get them all nice and straight on the bearing edge. And then I'm just going to line it up, so just imagine with me that the bearing is sitting in that little gap there. Let's get the lighter, give it a heat up. Now, because you've got 4 layers, just give it a bit more of a heat up than you normally would. Alright. There we go. Fantastic. Now, if you get a little bit of overhang because your heat shrink was a little bit long, it's okay. Just get your scissors and just give it a gentle snip around to keep it flush. And as you can see, it's on there pretty good and solid. I can't pull that off. It's fantastic. If you can actually buy heat shrink with the glue inside. Might work even better. It'll glue the 4 layers to each other and then glue that to the diff. But yeah, that's a nice cheap upgrade to fix a weak part, make it a little bit stronger. Mine's lasted for about probably 4 batteries so far, no issues, and I'm running a 3000 kV brushless motor. So now I'll show you how to whip the diff out. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay, so this is how you get the diff out. So just grab an Allen key. There's 4 bolts, so 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 at the front. Undo your shock bolts first. Just get that out of the way, makes life easier. I'll just move my antenna out of the way. And I'll just whip these out. Nice and easy, don't lose your screws, don't forget where they go. Alright, and then undo the 4 bolts on the pyramid shape looking upright. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just in case you're wondering where those 2 front bolts are there, that's that one and that one. Alright, once you got that out, this will sort of lift up, but you do have your suspension arms in the way. So basically you just want to pop those off. Just gently like that. You can leave the other one on if you want. Doesn't matter. Then you just simply lift and just pull the axles out, like so. And you can see here that this one's already been shrink wrapped. It's got 4 layers on there. I should probably trim the end on that one actually. It's a bit messy of me. Right, so then now that it's all trimmed up, one thing to keep in mind is it's got an eccentric locating ring, so that sets your belt tension. So it's really important that when you put the diff in, that the locating rings are straight, so they're in the same position as each other. So the best way to start is start with the biggest bit facing forward, alright, and we'll do that on both sides there. Okay. When you're putting it in, set your belt on the sprocket and just drop it in. Try and keep everything lined up so it's even. Now, when you're setting your belt tension, you want it tight, but not too tight, so that's a little bit stiff. And also make sure after you're putting it back in that this pulley's lined up and the belt's also on this end pulley here. So what we'll do is we'll just loosen this off a little bit. So just basically turn the eccentric spacers like so. Make sure it's sitting down there. And that's nice. So it's just got a little tiny bit of tension on there, not too much. Remember, it's not a rubber band. You don't want it to be super tight. Alright, once again, make sure that your your diff is lined up nice and straight. We'll grab our strut tower, which is sitting over here. We'll just fire that straight down on top. It's a good idea not to pull these screws all the way out. They can just sit in there nice and comfortably. Grab your Allen key. Do them up. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Four. Check your belt before you go past the point of no return. Put your shock bolts back in. Fantastic. Next one. Alright, now I probably should have put the axles back in before I, did the stuff up. I should have put them in when I pushed the diff down, but that's no big deal. So on this side we've already got the arm off, so we'll just line that up. Maybe. being nice to me. As I said, probably should have put them in when I was doing the diff into the car. And the annoying thing about the heat shrink is you can't see which way the axle goes. So it's, there we go, that's in. And we'll put the upper arm on. Okay, and then we've got the other side. Now I didn't pull that upper arm off that side, so we'll just give it a gentle yank, like so. Get our axle. We'll see if we can line this up better this time. Fantastic. Clip that down. I'll fire my aerial back through where I like it to sit. I don't like my aerial hanging out the top. I just prefer it to sit under the body. I don't really have any interference issues. And that's that done. Now this is my Mission D, so I'm running a 3000 kV 13 turn 540 brushless motor. I've got a XCar 60 amp ESC. This is running non-censored, which is fine for a drift car. I don't really have any cogging issues or anything like that. The only other problem that we've had with a Mission D is we actually broke a rear axle. Where the dog bone goes in, it just sheared off completely. And Hobbyking was out of stock of it, so we actually found out that their Hobbyking's new touring car, what's it called? It's the Bash or something. The axle is actually the same length as the Mission D, but the ball on the end of the axle's a little bit too big. So I just got the die grinder and ground it down until it would fit in the hole, which worked out fine. The other issues that we've had with this car is not much. It's been very reliable, very, very good. Obviously the wirings are a little bit messy and hard to route. As long as it clears the belts, you're all good. The drift tyres that it actually comes with actually last really well. As you can see from these drift tyres, we've been drifting on a bit of everything. We even threw some rubber tyres on there to see what they'd be like with a touring car. And I reckon if you put the ball diff in the back, so ordered a front diff and put it in the rear, it would make it a pretty awesome handling touring car if you wanted a touring car. So I'm very happy with the price that we paid for it. The fact that everything's made from plastic is not too bad. My son's only 7 years old and he's had some pretty tremendous accidents with his one, and it's a solid little car. It just hangs in there quite happily. But one thing to do is to check every nut and bolt. When we got our ones with the brush motors in them, the engine nuts are actually quite loose, and so is the pinion gear. So make sure you check everything before you use it when you pull it out of the box. As you can see, we've actually changed from the Hobbyking cover to these HPI clones. As you can see, HQI Racing, just to make it look a little bit different, because we've got two of them. So we've got a yellow AE86 and this red AE86, and yeah, very happy for the money that we spent. So I hope you enjoyed my video on how to fix the diff. Thank you. Come on. I'm 7 years old.
I'm 7 years old and I'm going to trophy you today.
Okay. Go. Go 40.